Hello, all you weirdos. Jim here, and we got some news. I'm not so hip on this news. I'd love to hear from people who are excited about this, but it is DC announces the Joker Year One. Now, one of the main reasons I'm not that into this is I'm one of the people who don't really want to know an origin of the Joker. If I do get an origin of the Joker, maybe a Joker Year One, I want it to be one of those unreliable narrator things, because to me, the Joker's intrigue is that he's kind of a force of nature, that you're not really sure if what he's saying about his past is true. But when you start to pin it down, I think it just lessens everything overall. And it's a weird play here because as we are sitting here, the lay of the land, dawn of DC Comics in general, we've had a lot of Joker in the recent past. We just got done a year-long nothing of a story from Matthew Rosenberg. Before that, we had Tynan into Matthew Rosenberg on that Joker book that was more about Jim Gordon, and again, really didn't end up being anything. Even going to, say, the Joker War from Tynan, even before that, we've been heavy with the Joker, and I think that should be something where we lay low a bit. Maybe an idea of a Joker Year One might be pretty cool by this coming up summer. But right now, it just feels like it's heavy Joker and a little too heavy oversaturation of Joker. Now, as well as when you end up having books and books aren't doing well, you usually end up with, you had Batman. Batman as a guest star in another book usually will increase the sales. You put Batman on the cover, you put guest starring Batman. But what do you do with a Batman book? Because I don't think it's hitting with a lot of people, and not just because Chip Zdarsky is doing a bad or good job. We ended up having Night Terrors 2 months off. Then right after that, having Gotham War for this amount of time with Teenie Howard involved, that was a bomb. So right now, I think that the hype for Batman is kind of at an all-time low. Now we're dealing with some Zor-and-R stuff in that book, but suddenly, after Gotham War, we get hit with the Joker. Last issue of Chip Zdarsky's Batman, it's like, oh my God, this is all about the Joker. It felt forced in. It felt weird because, again, what do you do in a Batman book to get people hyped? Usually you add the Joker. That's the big thing to hype up your Batman book. But I think right now we've just had too much Joker, and I don't know that a Joker Year One story is the thing that everybody is looking for, everybody wants or needs. But we'll see. Here is the news story. This is directly from DC Comics and their whole press release. Secrets of the greatest villain in pop culture are revealed in the Joker Year One, a terrifying 3-part tale in Batman 142 to 144, unfolding in February 2024. So a couple months from now, a weekly Batman comic book event. So we're going to get Batman each week for these issues. They say weekly. Is it that, or is it very weekly? I'm not sure. But it's an event by Chip Zdarsky, Giuseppe Camuncoli, Stefano Nessi, Adriano Sorrentino, Alejandro Sanchez, and Dave Stewart. DC's ongoing Dawn of DC Publishing initiative is heading toward a thrilling high-stakes adventure in 2024. And in February, within the pages of Batman, readers will discover a terrifying story featuring the greatest villain in pop culture history. They keep pushing that. After the current Mind Bomb story concludes, like once we get past the Chris Angel mind-freaking Mind Bomb story, that concludes in January. Batman 141, The Dark Knight, will discover the terrible secret behind his greatest enemy. Told in 3 parts, the Joker Year One will ship weekly, very weekly, I can't help myself, in February 2024. And here is, we'll go through these issues here. The Joker Year One begins in Batman 142 by Chip Zdarsky, Giuseppe Camuncoli, Stefano Nessi, Adriano Sorrentino, Alejandro Sanchez, and Dave Stewart. A lot of people involved in this. In part one, it's like pretty much the whole starting lineup of the 1978 New York Knicks are on this thing out of nowhere. Or maybe even like the whole deal of Parliament Funkadelic. You ever see the Parliament Funkadelic? They're on the stage. They end up having spaceships, things like that. There's like 800 people, and it's awesome. It's just completely awesome. So hopefully this is as well. In part one, the tragic death of the leader of the Red Hood gang in Nevada Chemicals has become the subject of myth. But what is the heartbreaking and gruesome tale of the monster who walked away from the violent birth? From the first pages of the Joker Year One onward, eager readers will be questioning everything they know about the Joker. Well, maybe What about skeptical pieces of kind of misery like me? What will I be questioning? That's the real thing I want to know, right? The eager readers, yeah, they're there. What about miserable pricks like me? Oh, I know what I'll be thinking. And how does it affect Batman's distant future? Within each issue of the Joker Year One, artists Andrea Sorrentino and Dave Stewart illustrate a story juxtaposed by the show of far-reaching impact the Joker will have on DC's Caped Crusader. I think he has had some impact. It's just me. Next, in Batman 143, the terrifying tale of the Joker Year One continues as a mysterious figure from Batman's past has come into Joker's orbit. Now it's Chip Zdarsky. You play this game, it's probably Ghostmaker. It's probably just going to be that, changing the Clown Prince of Crime forever. And what secrets does the reformed Red Hood gang have for Batman's future? Batman 143, written by Chip Zdarsky and art by Giuseppe Camicoli, Stefano Nessi. They keep saying all those people in Funkadelic, published on February 13th, 2024. Batman 144 features the climactic, chilling conclusion to the Joker Year One, delivering massive repercussions for the future. I doubt it, since most of the future's already told, and yeah, I don't know. This is starting to get to me. The Red Hood gang is on a rampage, and the only man who can stop them is the Joker? And can Batman stop a devastating new virus in a future where the Joker looms over everything? Batman 144, written by Chip Zdarsky, with art by everybody that they've mentioned 7 million times. This is one of the worst press releases I've ever seen in my life. After the Joker Year One concludes, the previously announced Dark Prison story will run through Batman 145 to 148, where Batman will face a terrifying figure from his past in order to survive Zor's onslaught. Is that just going to be Ghostmaker 2? And if Batman survives, a new enemy is waiting in the wings. Amanda Waller and the U.S. military. Not really a new enemy to Batman, but hey, we'll go with it, right? And I think that when people saw this, and I was talking to some people, the idea of that new enemy waiting in the wings and things like that. I mean, Amanda Waller has been waiting in so many wings in every single book that probably is what is leading us into the next big event, the next big thing. You end up having Amanda Waller versus everyone, and everyone versus Peacemaker, everyone versus Peacemaker and Amanda Waller, all this stuff going on and on. But overall, again, the story here of the Joker Year One, I just don't think that I need that. I'm going to be reading it, and I hope it's good. I hope it's pretty cool. But overall, I hope that they don't try to pin too much down. I hope that they don't try to say, okay, this is the definitive origin. This is the Year One. This is, I don't think you do that with the Joker. And just to confuse matters even more, you have Chip Zdarsky in the last bit of Batman that we just had, and even at the end of Gotham War, bringing up that whole Three Jokers deal that seems like it's going to retell the Three Joker story because it's not referencing the Jeff Johns, Jason Faba Three Joker story we already had. And Chip Zdarsky talked about, and I may even make a video about that, about how he talked about, well, we're going to start at the same beginning, the Justice League 50, end of the New 52. But we're not going to do anything with what Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok did. But we're not retelling things. We're just, that's kind of over there and here. And it's just this whole play. And again, the thing that I think of in general is, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it right now? And I do think it's because a lot of people have lost interest in the Batman book. They've lost interest in what Chip Zdarsky's doing. I hear, and I'm told by people who kind of checked out after Batman jumped off the moon. But then you have Failsafe, which was kind of cool. But what happened with Failsafe? Went away. Then we had multiversal nonsense. Then we go into Night Terrors. Then we have Gotham War. It has been a bit of a wreck. And I don't know that Chip Zdarsky's completely to blame. But at this point, he has to do something. And it looks like he's going heavy on the Joker, when I'm kind of been jokered out for years, but we'll see. Let me know what you all think in the comments below and all that stuff going on, because I would like to hear some people who are excited about this, because then that actually gets me a bit more excited if I see, okay, there are a bunch of people into this. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong or whatnot, and then I get fired up. But I will be talking about those issues, reviewing those issues when February comes along here on YouTube and our podcast, our DC Comics Weekly review podcast, very weekly. See, I'll even do it to myself. Oh my goodness. Equal opportunity offender. But with all that, please check the description of this video, and you'll get some links to all of our other shows, including DC, Marvel, and manga podcasts. But thanks, everybody, and I will talk to you weirdos later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.